Hey, it's Matt with McGee Farms, and spent a little time out at the campsite, my little escape from reality that I built here recently. And I've got a couple projects I'm going to be working on while I'm here for the weekend. Beautiful weekend. One, I've got my Jeep up here with me, the 2006 LJ, and we're going to be building some tube doors for them. Some that I've gotten off Temu, so stick around and let's put them together. Now I've got one I've already put together, the driver's side, and I've always wanted these since they started, I started seeing them in the catalogs, but they were a little expensive, and I usually keep the hard doors on, so I've really, I don't know, I wanted them, I just never got around to getting any of them, and I did have some half doors for a YJ years ago, and they were built really flimsy, but these popped up on Temu, and I think I gave 80, 90 bucks, something like that. They were pretty cheap compared to all of them that I'd seen before. Now, they're not built super heavy. Aluminum here, it's pretty lightweight, but, you know, I'm just basically using them. I like the looks of them, and I want something kind of hold me in, I guess, if I go on a big slope. So, for that price, I'm happy with it. Also, they have actual latches. Ones I'd had in the past had not had latches. The only downside so far I've seen with driving around with this one, it does rattle in some extreme off-roads. But the mirror, it's got mirrors, and if you live somewhere where you have to have mirrors on it for driving on public roads, they're great. The only thing is, as you can see, they're looking right back at me, as opposed to where they need to be. If you put them where it actually is showing you where you need it, they will not stay. They either come here or they go there. So they're not usable mirrors, but they're mirrors to make you legal. So we're going to go over to the other door, and I'm going to put it together, and I'm going to pull it out of the box, show you how it comes and what's involved in putting them together. Alright, well, I got my tractor down here. I've been brush hogging, cleaning up around the campgrounds, and it makes a perfect work platform with the forks on the front, actually. So, like I said, I already pulled one of them out. You end up getting a mirror, instructions, your hardware, some really cheap tools that do the job, although if you've got a ratchet set handy, it's very nice to have. This is the door hardware. This was the hardest part of the whole thing, was figuring out how this goes on. It's very confusing on which is the driver's and which is the passenger side. Instructions, one of my wrenches, and then the door itself, which is covered in bubble wrap. Okay, I've got the bubble wrap off of it. And that's it. Like I said, it's pretty lightweight metal. But, you know, it'll serve its purpose. It does, which is really nice, have a little rubber pad here, because off-road, when I really started getting some heavy off-road, I noticed it was rattling against the door. So having this is going to keep from marring up the paint on my Jeep. I'm probably going to put a second one right here or something. So we'll get the parts out, start putting it together. And I've got the first four on for the housing here. Tip, if you're doing it, is to do the ones closest to the edge first, because it's really hard to get your fingers in there and to you know, get them to work. Next is going to be setting this up, and there's only one way that it can go in, but it is a little confusing when you got both of them to figure out which side is the right one, because this has to go there. Make sure this is pointing up, and then there's 4 bolts that you have to put on. I guess I should have been a little more specific. There's 4 bolts, 2 here, and there's 2 here that hold, there's a little like kind of dust plate that holds it in. But I've got them in. Next step's going to be grabbing these, and putting the hinges on. Also, as you put the hinges on, I believe that's I believe the bottom one is, and nice and noisy. I think that might be when the little fabric goes on as well, the thing that the door stop. So we're gonna grab this, takes the bigger bolts, we're gonna put them on and get the hinges set. Got the hinges on, and yeah, the little fabric strap that holds your door goes on the bottom one. Now I just have these finger tight. I haven't tightened them yet. Basically I'm going to be tightening them when I put it on the Jeep, because there is a little play here, and that way I just want to make sure that it's lined up perfectly on the Jeep itself. So now it's just adding the mirror, and it's all done, ready to put on the Jeep. Now the final part, I've got it on there, and like I said, when you get it on, there's a lot of play, so that's why getting it in there. And then now I'm going to come and I'm going to tighten all these up to make sure it's all lined up perfectly. So we're going to tighten it up and we'll take it for a ride. And I got them on. Let's do a little ride. Not heavy off-road, but you hear that one rattling a little bit. Might have a screw or two I need to tighten up a little more. This one's not as bad. Take it on the highway too, and it's about lunchtime, so I don't have my fire going yet down here, so I'm just going to run into town, grab some lunch, and we'll see how it does on the highway. All right, driving down the gravel county road right now, and one thing, this one over here, I've tightened it. I still got a little more to tighten, I guess. I can still hear it rattling, but the mirror on that one is actually in a good spot. It's just this one here that's, you know, aimed at me, and I don't need to be looking at myself. I'd rather look at what cars are around me, but at least this one is you know, showing what I need to see. And it is rattling. I tightened it up. It's not rattling quite as bad, but I guess I need a little more. But it is comfortable. The tube is actually right where my arm goes, so for me it's like the perfect, you know, perfect height and everything. I will say that. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe a pool noodle or something on here might make it a little more comfortable, but nice so far. We'll get on the highway here in a minute and we'll see. You know, I don't see that there'd be any issues, but we'll see what they're like. The ride on the highway did pretty good. Jake came with me. We went by Dairy Queen and he got him a pup cup, so he's pretty happy as well. Aren't you, boy? But yeah, definitely liking these with the hot weather. They let the air flow through. Well, of course, because there's not much there, but yeah, they really let the air flow through. And between that and this mesh top that I've got on the Jeep, it actually cools it down so much. So very happy, very, very happy with it. So I think these are going to stay on. The other test is going to be if when I've got a dog in the front seat, as long as they're going to stay in okay and not fall out. So, but yeah, loving them so far. It's Matt and Jake with McGee Farms. If you enjoy the channels, please consider giving us a thumbs up, liking the videos. It, you know, very much helps us out, or subscribing to the channel. It helps us, and it helps the channel grow as well, and is very appreciated. Until next time, have a great day.